To apply for accommodations, head over to the Applying for Accommodations section located in the middle of the web page. It is recommended to click on the Prepare for an Appointment section first. Here you can see the explanation of the process for receiving services, starting with the intake process. The intake process explains how to first prepare your documentation. You can click on the Do I Qualify link, which will take you to the documentation guidelines. These guidelines help explain what information is helpful to have in your documentation in order for you to qualify for services. It is even recommended that you send this link directly to your provider if they will be writing a summary of information so that your provider is aware of the information that is needed. Going back to the Prep for an Appointment section, the intake process then explains to you the application process, submitting your documentation, and that when received, you will be contacted within 3 business days to schedule your appointment. All of this information is also easily located under the How to Get Started section in the tab on the left under the Guide for Students with Disabilities. Whenever you are ready, you will click on the Apply Now section. You will see the 2-step process of filling out your application and submitting your documentation. Go through the application, making sure to fill out all of the required fields with the red asterisk. These questions will ask you what types of services you have had in the past, what limitations you experience because of your diagnosis, and what accommodated services you are requesting. Once you submit your application, you will be taken to the next screen, which will ask you to upload your documentation. If you do not have your documentation ready to upload, you will have received an automated email from your application submission containing a link to upload your documentation. You can go back to that email to upload your documentation to that link at any time. In other words, your application will be saved with our department while awaiting your documentation. When your documentation is received, within 3 business days you will be contacted to schedule your remote intake appointment or emailed notifying you that your documentation is missing information and what information is needed in order to get you scheduled for an appointment. If you go back to the Prep for an Appointment section, the next step under the intake process is titled The Appointment Process. This explains the types of information we will review during your appointment, which includes discussion of your application and documentation information. Once your appointment is completed, you will then receive a recap email listing the accommodations you have been approved for and directions for how to request these accommodations in your courses. This is explained more in the accommodation request process and in our video tutorial, How to Request Your Accommodations, that you can find back on our main page. You can reach out to our department at disabilityservices@cocc.edu at any time for questions. Thank you.